show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It's the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, PA, which of course was the site of pain and agony just a little bit ago as somebody filmed a Hot Ones episode in the studio. But with us, another hot crew, and the hottest is Chilla, John Chichilla. He's a Guja Guru, a big bank international. How you doing, Chilla?
Pretty good. I don't know if I'm the hottest. I think one of you two are the hottest, though.
What? Well,
but look at that! Look at that pan and
yeah. There's a little bit of that last month or last week too, and I didn't call it out. But as you adjust, your camera still goes like kind of all over the place. That's great. We don't lose you. It's great. And if you reach for a thing, and it's going to follow with you, right?
I think so. Will it?
Nope. I love it's going the opposite way of your hand.
It's trying. If I give it a little wave.
But you're actually more you're more centered. Oh, there you go. There you go.
It has the AI. It knows where my face is.
That's right. It's following along. Also with us, the equally hot Dutters.
My camera does not follow me.
No, not as much. Just wonderfully centered and a nice ball, and look at that woodwork over there. Which actually we're doing Rune Raider now, so social media guru and avid photographer of motorsports now.
Yeah, don't ask me to take pictures of people. I don't like people.
No people. No. Actually, you did get some requests for people and cars, right? Mostly cars.
Yeah. If you're next to a vehicle you're next to a vehicle, I might be okay with that.
So there you go. Sooner or later, she'll just be working on Hot Rod magazines. This is the entry for that, right? Was our work the last couple of months. So
yes.
But it is the AwesomeCast. We're going to talk geeky things here today, and but first, please go check out everything at awesomecast.com, and please email us at awesomecast@sorgatronmedia.com. Tweet us at AwesomeCast, and of course, the AwesomeCast Facebook group, Discord, and Reddit for your conversations and sharing some stories throughout the week that we like to use here on the show. And of course, we're live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern here on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and also on the Sorgatron Media Twitch page, however you would like to consume the show. We appreciate everybody for hopping in there, being part of that conversation, and correcting us when we are kind of missing the mark on anything, or letting us know, especially when we're talking about cars. That's why we had Podner on last week, because I know he's in the world of what's going on there to help us out as we came back from the Michigan Speedway. Also, we would live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't know if I said that. And we're also, please subscribe to the podcast. And thank you to our audio partners, our friends at postindustrial.com, helping to share the show with their audience as well. And they do some great journalism work for the Rust Belt over there. Great crew over there at Post Industrial. Check them out and sign up for their newsletter. And they have podcasts. They have news podcasts and everything too. So has some great work going on over there. And thank you to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/awesomecast. You guys have been getting a little bit more extra stuff lately over there. Our friends at the executive producer level, Brian Crawford. Our friends at the coffee club level, Matt Weller, John DeGore, Cynthia Clossy, Scott McTaggart, and Mike Pound. And at the fan of the show level, Michael Fedor, Professor Buzzkill, and Dave Ponder. Again, you guys can support the show, get a little extra content, and have some chats with us over there at patreon.com/awesomecast. So let's get into our awesome things of the week. And I don't know what Chilla's thing is. What is this stuff? You know what? I'm just out of curiosity. We're going to let Chilla go first, because it's the most confusing so far. Let's get it out of the way.
So the first link in there is an old compact.
Okay.
I think they called it the PC Companion. It was the C140. It was actually a palm top. They considered it a palm top computer.
Mm-hmm.
It actually, I wish I still had it. It's like when I saw what I'm going to actually talk about, the first thing I jumped to in my mind was this, and it had kind of like a touch it had a touch screen.
What?
It had an integrated stylus. It had a cable to connect to your computer so you could sync it. I think it had 4 meg of RAM and 4 meg of space. It ran Windows CE.
Mm-hmm.
So it
that-
had
that's
like
right.
Word, Excel, and
So
PowerPoint.
So it was like those
It had
kind of old PDA LCD touchscreen kind of things with a pen.
Yes, but it was like, imagine it as big as your larger iPhone,
Mm-hmm.
but a clamshell.
Okay.
So but it could fit on your hand. I mean, it was pretty wide. I mean, like you think of, like if I have my phone on my hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like my phone fits, and I still have fingertip and palm space.
Mm-hmm.
Like this would have probably just been over the edge of my wrist and over the edge of my fingers. But I don't know. I really liked it. I actually, would punch out some like Word docs, basic Excel spreadsheet type stuff. You keep track of like your bank account or whatnot. I don't think that thing even had internet. There was no Wi-Fi or cellular or anything on that. Everything was handled by synchronization, plugging into the old 9-pin serial port on your preferred computer at home. But really like the device. And today I saw that they're kind of bringing back that form factor. I don't even know how you pronounce MNT.
Mint Pocket Reform.
Yeah.
This is Linux, isn't it?
Yeah. So this will run. So the cool thing about it's a 7-inch mini laptop.
Mm-hmm.
It is not fully ready for prime time. Like they're not selling this thing yet.
Such a strange keyboard.
But it's interesting because that thing on the bottom is a trackball, like the old like Toshibas or Compacts that had the trackball on the bottom.
So is the letters all lined up like a typical keyboard, but they're all square. They're not like offset like a keyboard normally is.
Right.
So.
But then the other interesting thing about this is, and you'd have to scroll pretty far down to look at the spec for the motherboard.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is modular. So you can get all these different cards that have different processors and different memory configurations. The thing can go up to 16 gig of DDR4 memory.
Even the main processor, like it could be running a Raspberry Pi or some other, looks like Arduino kind of setups. So
yeah,
it basically runs one of those mini computers.
And it's going to be swappable.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I thought was interesting is they kind of, to me, tricked it out, right? It has Wi-Fi 802.11ac. It has Bluetooth 5. There's a WWAN slot for an LTE modem. There's a micro SIM card slot. You can put, there's the removable hard drive. Like the whole thing, like it can go up to 128 gig of eMMC flash. There's actually an NVMe SSD slot up to 2 terabytes.
Jeez.
It has 2 USB-C ports. One's for power delivery, but it can also be used for other things. And then the other one's just a normal USB-C port. So you can actually plug it in up to a 4K monitor. Multiple flavors of Linux, 3 different Linux desktops. The thing's, I mean, to me, it's definitely going to run any of your emulators that you want to run and more. It's interesting because what drove me down this rabbit hole was I was reading an article, I think it was on like a Facebook Raspberry Pi group actually, and the person was talking about how their kid was in school and had to use Teams, but they didn't really have a computer at home. So the guy had literally like taken a monitor and mounted a Raspberry Pi to the back, plugged a webcam in, plugged in some generic like $10 sound card because he needed a mic, a better mic port, and the kid was rocking and rolling for school. And then they kind of went down. This was another link that someone posted in an article on there. So I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, you can do a lot with this thing.
So emulators is the biggest thing, and of course you want to type up some documents kind of pretty quick. But you said Teams will run on it, and like what else are you thinking are like some real applications for this thing?
I guess I'm looking at it as I could remote into work.
Okay.
I could do numerous things. Like if you think about like, hey, when you're away, or think of a small device you could carry around and then control any other device around you, almost like a thin client.
This is something that I could. Well, it would need Ethernet though, which I think well you can probably do it with the configuration. Yeah, I can see this being because we have video switchers that are kind of headless, and we use the software, the ATEM software with Blackmagic, and it's just like typing 1, 2, 3 are the shots, and there's like a keyboard kind of offset that we use. I could see you using this as like this is the control keyboard, perhaps. Like because all you need is the 1, 2, 3 of that keyboard. Or whatever interface that's going on there, right? So I can see that instead of just sending an entire laptop with them anymore. So that'd be interesting. We actually do just have a laptop in the case.
The thing that surprised me too is you don't see many 7-inch displays that are actually full 1080p. So the screen resolution is really good on the device by default. And like I said, everything is modular, even the keys. So it's mechanical. The keyboard's mechanical switches, which is why the device is a little bit thicker. They're actually RGB backlit. I don't know. I'll be interested to see what the price point comes in at.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's no more than like $200, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, be interested to see. Do you see, Katie? Do you see any on-the-go applications for this? For a little more than your iPhone, maybe?
Maybe. I don't know. Like it's between the size and I don't know what I would need it to do. It's like either big boy here or little boy here. Like I don't know. Like it just has enough for me.
Yeah. It needs to be like the right case scenario, right? And I don't know where that fits in. That feels like I think Chili, you have a lot more applications than I think we do for the level of things the kind of things that we're doing, I guess. No, that's kind of a cool thing. So the portability, it's definitely a super nerd thing. I mean, absolutely. I mean, but I could definitely see implicating this as like a control interface for something. Like absolutely, like something that we have that's just kind of like with like one of our cases or something, and say, okay, this controls this computer or this controls this interface, this box or something like that. So that's cool. So that is the MNT. re.com is the website for them, and is the MNT, I'm presuming Mint Pocket Reform. And I signed up at the bottom there. They actually do have a newsletter you can sign up for updates, because they have the specs and everything on here, but as you said, they haven't released is there even a release date? But there's no price.
Correct, and I haven't seen a formal release date either.
Okay.
I think they had a bigger version. They actually have also a board for an Amiga.
I just pulled that up, and so I went to the main site. Their Mint Research. They got the Reform they're talking about, the Amiga board that we're talking about, and they have open peripherals, ultra compact mechanical keyboards, and auditable cameras. What? So they're doing. Yeah, it feels like they're doing kind of and they're British. They're definitely British. It looks like they're doing a kind of a, I don't know, not a wise thing, but like they're doing like an open source kind of thing. So anyways, Katie, I see you're bringing some news for your awesome thing.
Yeah, so Instagram is finally, Meta is finally opening up Reels to developers, opening up Reels APIs for developers, which means that we're going to be able to schedule our Reels here real soon.
Yay!
So Reels are just, I mean, they're off the chart. Like we're all kind of seeing the success of Reels across social media, and depending on even, it doesn't even matter the client. Like just Reels is the way to go right now.
It's the hot algorithm thing now, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, do the Reels. If you're not doing Reels, you need to start doing Reels. And even if you're not putting a whole, like you're not going, oh my gosh, how do I do these big productions? It doesn't even have to be big productions. I've called some of my Reels that I've created that have done very well, like very fancy PowerPoint presentations where things just kind of come into focus, words come in and out, and it's getting a ton of eyes on it. So don't be afraid to try Reels, but you will be able to schedule it, because I think that was a thing that held a lot of folks back, was that you had to, when you completely get to like, all right, if I want to post it at 9 a.m., I have to be ready to post it at 9 a.m. and I can't schedule this out or plan your week. But now you're going to be able to. So I'm sure places like Hootsuite and a lot of other places are going to be able to help you with that, which is exciting.
Just kind of give you an example. I just kind of I've been trying to be better about, like, I'll go, I'll take random video and pictures, and I'm just kind of throwing some stuff in TikTok and letting their kind of magic movie maker make something cool for me lately. I'm just like, let's just see what happens with it, and we can adjust things, right? Or using the magic maker in like iMovie or something, right? And then like bringing those kind of across the thing. So I'm doing like, behind the scenes, I'll throw my camera up and just do a little bit of switching at, we had an MMA and a wrestling show this past weekend, or the raccoons in the tree at the studio. But to see, like, not everything kind of hits on here, but man, 12,000 people for a giant pong that we played at the Rochester airport, Katie. That did well, and also my dog basically in a wind tunnel backstage, or I'm saying in the backstage, God, in the back of my car. so which I got an argument about whether it was good for his ears or not. So I was like, no, listen, I have my puppy manual, and it says it's okay. I don't see anything about that. So, but yeah, but it is one of those things. Here's another random one that has like 8,000 views from a couple months ago. This looks like this might have been when we were up in. Oh, geez, I don't even know where this was. I think it's a South Bend one. But yeah, they do very well. Have you played with YouTube Shorts much? Because I've been throwing stuff in. I've been trying again to throw stuff in at least my personal account, which has like nothing going on YouTube, and they seem to hit pretty good. Again, it's the new thing, so it's thrown in front of a lot of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
the next question is going to be. The question's going to go back to, again, which way are we recording our videos? Which aspect ratio?
and I mean, just look at my videos. You see that like half of them are the other way, but also some of these I'm kind of shooting for other projects too. So it's what it is. Mm-hmm. I just kind of accept they're going to be the way they're going to be, or if there's,
but just
so.
Yeah,
but
it's, when you're shooting for clients and such and creating their content,
yes,
like which way are we? That's a constant conversation.
Yes, or is there? Hey, shoot it twice. That's the other thing that I've done sometimes. I think even some of the stuff we were at, I was like, okay, I'm going to shoot this way, then I'm going to shoot this way, kind of thing. Or is it something that you can do a zoom in kind of situation too? Are you shooting in 4K? Phones are usually, right, and you can just kind of prop in and make that work sometimes. So I don't have a lot. This is like from 2 months ago almost, but man, it's so do you feel like Reels are they still too Me Too, or are they like comparable to what TikTok is right now, or is it just people that live in Instagram do Reels and that's it?
I feel like it's very interesting to. I don't know if you've ever looked at like people who do really, really well on TikTok. Maybe they have followers in the millions, and then they'll look at their Instagram following, and it's in like low thousands. Mm-hmm. So it's and it's vice versa. You're seeing in a lot of places. So people are really succeeding in a certain platform, but it's not, unless you're like a superstar. Like I'm talking like a whatever creator, not like some sort of musician or athlete or something. You're seeing them very much succeed in their one platform. They're creating across the board, but there's just that one sweet spot for them. So I think it's more of just like, and then like Reels and TikTok are great. They're buddies as far as like where you can share that content. So why not? But yeah, it's really interesting who's hitting where. It
really is. It really is. Upon saying that, like, what he's saying that Instagram hates him. It does worse than his TikTok or his Facebook Reels. But also, like, I see that too. Like, TikTok for me is like, it's not doing bonkers, but like when I post videos on TikTok, it is like on my personal account, it is steadily doing, like those 500 to 700 views, right? Which in TikTok world is not tremendous, but still is like a nice average, I think, from what I understand of it. So it's just. But am I really making things for the algorithm? Am I making things for TikTok? I'm just kind of making things on TikTok and just kind of. I'm trying to do the document thing, and doing that, because one of the ideas that I listen to is like you need to make like 4 things, put the 4 things on TikTok and do that every day and good things will happen kind of thing, right? If you're for your thing. And that's been that's been kind of the idea there. Like Katie, you've been along with me for the last couple of months. We'll do something for like the weekend or for whatever the thing is, and then I'll just kind of go back and be like, okay, what videos did I do over this thing? Okay, let's throw some of them together and let's put this out. Hey, let's throw the behind the scenes from the wrestling show and the MMA show we did this weekend. Hey, here's a little something crazy about, here's taking the dog to, on the car trip. Here's raccoons in a tree that randomly happened. Here's something we visited on the road, and then that's my content right now. Like, it's just life. This is just life content. I'm just life blogging right now, I guess, right? So, and thank you to you. I'm back on stories because I haven't done stories in so long on Instagram. So,
what's the time limit in in a reel or a story?
Stories is still 15 seconds, I believe. Reels, I think, are a minute. Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, a minute's good. Okay.
I
like that short little. You can capture me in the first 10 seconds, or I'm skipping you.
Yeah.
But then the stuff that keeps me, it's not like I'm sitting there, because I do watch a lot of long form YouTube instructional type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It can be 45 minutes to an hour type class. But that's kind of like YouTube's become I'm going to focus on this topic and go figure some stuff out.
Yes.
TikTok is my escape relaxation, but I feel like there's not much I can watch on YouTube in a very short period of time and feel relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, I feel like that's its purpose.
No, exactly. I don't know what you're going to do with 10-minute videos there. Same with doing IGTV on Instagram. Like, we throw some full matches on there. I'm like, well, who's really sitting here watching a full match on their Instagram? And I'm sure somebody that's more like I watch that will watch in an app that can't picture-in-picture window kind of thing, right? So I think that's interesting. I love literally one of the top videos that I have on here. I'm sorry, I was just looking at this, and one of the top videos is just me in an elevator. Look at this thing. It's just me in an elevator over in East Liberty when we're loading in for a show. In the snow, by the way. It was I think it was definitely February, and I had a hotel cart of equipment, and that was it. And I'm just waiting for this thing. So, and in almost 3,000 views. Okay. So, anyways, so my awesome thing of the week, I'm recycling this from last week because I think again, as photo people, I thought you'd be interested with something. And Katie, you know Steve Falcom over there, falcomdigital.com, that he works with the RWA at the Rise shows, does a lot of photography. He does these really great, he's done in the past these really great trading cards of the local wrestlers that look like they look like what you would get for WWE trading cards, like from Topps or Upper Deck or something. Like, they look really, really cool. So he has a new endeavor where he made coloring books, okay, for the wrestling promotions. And these are the books here, if you're on video with us, one for Rise, one for RWA. Here's Dr. Feelbad, the promoter of RWA down there in West Newton. And then this is Pretty Boy Smooth, who's the champion at Rise, often runs in Uniontown and up our way in Baldwin. And what he's done there, you can see a little bit of the color bleed that's happening there, right? He's taking his photos and converting them into line art, and then printing them out for coloring. So obviously it's not like a big line Avengers coloring book kind of thing, but it's kind of this cool kind of maybe I guess it's kind of that adult coloring book kind of thing, right? So it's a pretty interesting process. Of course, everything looks very kind of artistically cartoonized and everything like that. But it's there's little, you throw some sayings in there along with it. If you you're not gonna know who anybody is unless you're pretty familiar with the characters from these wrestling shows, but that's it. It's for the audience, right? So I thought, Chili, you'd be interested in this and what he's doing with that process.
That's really cool. What is the Q? I was interested too. I noticed there was a QR code on the front of it. Where is that more information, or?
So actually, it is full color reference images from this book you can go check out. over at that link.
That's cool. And the other thing that, and because I am not the aficionado of wrestling like the two of you, but it would be interesting, like, because that's something that could be fun for anyone, right? Or for my kid. It would be interesting if there was a QR code on each page that like took you to like the wrestler bio or something like that, just for those of us, the uninitiated.
Yeah, for those maybe it's your first RWA show, right? And you don't know who Jason Gorey and Justin Idol are, who are the tag team champions, right? And you want to learn more about them. And I think that would be really cool along with that. But or the Rev Ron Hunt or somebody that we know very well here, right? But yeah, no, I think that's a pretty good idea. I will pass that along to him. We actually did book Steve for. In a couple weeks, he's going to be joining us on the Wrestling Mayhem show, and I think later in July we have him scheduled. We're going to talk about this and other projects that he's been working in, and he's been, of course, he's been working in and around professional wrestling for forever. So we'll talk about that. His buddy Paul Atlas is going to be joining us as well, who is somebody that we've interviewed before, just in the interview show back in the day, and he's just going to come hang out with us for a bit. So go check it out. That's if you're interested in this and seeing more about it and more stuff that he's working on, go to falcomdigital.com, FALCOM digital.com, to check those out. Katie, and Katie, I think you've seen these in person at the shows too, right?
Oh yeah, they're really, really cool. I love them.
Mm-hmm. So, I always want to get like a second copy that's the coloring copy, But anyways, so. Yeah, you know what's also awesome? Our good friends at Slice on Broadway, New York City style. Yins are made, Beachview, Carnegie, the East End, and the North Hills here in the Pittsburgh area. In a fifth location, I believe they have a pop-up down there at Southside Works for the summer, I believe, from what I understand. So good to see them. I'm glad to see them growing as we've been growing as well around here at Sorgatron Media, Sidekick Media. So it's really cool to see as we're marching to episode, 600 coming up next week. Looking forward. It's good to see them growing, with us and supporting us for probably at least 500 of those 600 episodes, to be honest. So go check them out, sliceonbroadway.com. They've been supporting us for a while. Please support them back. So. Hey, another thing I was kind of going to go do a joint thing, but there's another trend I kind of like that crosses over a little bit. I picked these up because I'm a freaking wrestling Kickstarter whore. Unfortunately, and these came in from whenever the heck this happened. But this is the comic book encyclopedia of pro wrestling, and I've gotten a few of these issues before when they've had Kickstarters, but this is like a big compilation of a lot of stuff in here. So, and it's a lot of the old greats like Bruno Sammartino, of course we know here in the Pittsburgh area, Ivan Koloff, the genius Lanny Poffo, one of the girls, Hollywood from Glow. Rock and Roll Express, Nikolai Volkov, I think I said that right. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, things like that. I'm loving this trend. Of course, this is a cool one. Again, 2 volumes of this, and they threw in a signed art card for this. I thought it was really cool to get the compilation for this from Squared Circle and Inverse Press, and you can probably still grab copies from their website now that they've got it kind of going. But there's this trend of like comic bookizing professional wrestling stories, like real biographies, right? I also have Tony Schiavone, an old WCW announcer who's now with AEW, put out one called Butts and Seats a little bit ago too, and I remember I borrowed from a friend the Andre the Giant biography, which was a black and white comic book, again, biography kind of situation. It's a really cool trend. I'm loving to see these kind of graphic design. Our guest from a couple weeks ago that was doing the dystopian fiction, she also did some graphic design stories as well. But to see this the autobiography. But illustrated audio biography is a really cool thing, and I don't know, it's just a really cool trend I wanted to share. I have not heard of any other industry like, where's my comic book graphic novel of Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, right? That could be kind of
Very
cool.
true.
That could be kind of fun. Okay, not as fun and colorful probably as professional wrestling, but tech industry is kind of interesting. Where's that? Maybe down the line we'll get an Elon Musk one where he just becomes Iron Man, right? In the long run, or something. Like who would you guys like to see? That's
Did they ever do what would be really interesting and kind of meta? Did they ever do anything like a whole life of Stan Lee in comic book form?
I think. Well, he basically lived in comic book form for how many years? So.
But that's what I mean, like a biography.
No, I'm not aware of it. No.
But see, I think that would be one that I'd like to read.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm with that. Marvel would have to be the ones that put it out, right?
I would
I mean,
imagine
considering the
so.
characters involved, you would kind of have to. I'm doing a quick search here. I don't know what about you, Katie? Any like kind of important figures in any of the industries you follow that you think would kind of work on this format?
No, I can't think of anything. I'm trying to think.
Isn't there an RGB one that came out a few years ago? Or maybe I'm just
Like
thinking
a
like
comic?
Yeah,
Like
I
a
thought
comic encyclopedia?
I think they did like a comic biography of her as well, right? Like several years before she passed. Perhaps.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
There's plenty of memoirs for biographies and memoirs on Stanley, but they all appear to be boring text that I can tell. So, oh no, never mind. No, this is it. Chilla, this is exactly what you're looking for, I think. The amazing, fantastic, incredible Stan Lee, a marvelous memoir, and Peter David and Colleen Duran. And it is definitely an illustrated Stan Lee comic book. Of course somebody did this. And I don't think it's done by Marvel either. Well, it's pretty
I'll
cool.
definitely check that out.
That is going to go on the cart. There you go. Not available in my Kindle Unlimited, which I completely forgot I had a trial of, and it kicked over yesterday. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. If anybody has any tips, I'm currently looking at Airbnbs to detach and I think, Katie, I was talking to you about this, just to like disappear and turn off my phone for a day or two and just read all my comic books that I've had stacked up from Kickstarters that I haven't had time to read.
Yes.
I think that's what's going to happen. And I have to show you maybe after the show or something. I found some very interesting things local. Like I found like a shack in Upper West Virginia that looks very, very interesting. So that might be my thing. So I want to wander off of the woods with the dog and read comic books, and maybe I'll come back. I don't know. So anyways, what else we got here on the dock? Katie, what do you want to hit up over here? I see there's a couple of things.
Oh.
I think you'll probably be interested in that top story there.
Oh, the Samsung Starbucks?
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They're calling
Oh,
it.
yeah, that's much better.
I wish we could get iPods in this, right? So iMore has this, and they're the Starbucks. What are their headphones called? But they're AirPods, they're earpods, they're Bluetooth. Bluetooth.
Galaxy Buds.
What's that?
Galaxy
Buds. Thank you.
Buds.
Completely missing that. And but yeah, they're in a holder that looks like a Starbucks cup, little cappuccino cup. Yeah, that's the kind I want. It's a brand deal with
Adorable.
Starbucks, creating something special, they say. So are these going to be these got to be in the store, right? Like they got to be. It's only available for those in South Korea. What? What? Sorry.
Oh, you know, people are going to be knocking those off with 3D printers on Etsy because it looks like, from what it looked like, it looked like the Samsung case goes in that.
Oh, so it's
like
just
the way the lid just, and this is just me, like I didn't. That's the only picture I saw, and I saw that picture somewhere else today. Like, see kind of how there's a bevel there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm seeing that.
It almost looks like your Galaxy Bud case can slip into that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, either 3D printing, or it wouldn't surprise me if Starbucks did a whole line of these things.
Yeah, maybe starting over there or something, right? So I'm trying to find actually just a picture of just the earbuds case because I'm not familiar with it. My iPad's running slow these days. Shouldn't have installed that last update. I'm trying to find. So this is a picture loading now of. So this is what the case looks like. So yeah, that's absolutely looks like it could slip right into it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a rounded thing, and what we're seeing of the mug, it does look like it's just kind of like a square rounded kind of situation. So, interesting. But what they do, Katie, I know, don't you have a little holder or something for your earbuds? Like a little kind of case thing you can get. Like they have a bunch of little. I know I've seen them at like Five Below and stuff, right?
My case, I have Kate Spade is the one I have.
Okay.
It's glittery and it's like just it hangs. So my case lives in there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've dropped this case several times and it's done a good job protecting it.
Yeah. I need to hop
So
on
I like
this. I'm becoming increasingly unhappy with my skull candy ones because they never charge when I need them. So I just they never set in right and just they're not there. They're not there for me, guys.
No.
And I feel like the AirPods would not fail me. You don't have any problems with them, like you know you're not setting them in and they don't charge right or something, right?
No, I've not. No. Mm-mm.
You get that nice click, like they're charging.
See, this thing has a click too,
like they
but
get sucked in.
These things do the same thing, but they're not. But something is not connecting, and I've had this problem since I got them.
But does it have like two metal pins that have to line up on something?
Yes, I believe so.
Whereas the whole so to me that's where like I don't think the magnet in those is actually the charging element. Where I feel like the magnet on the AirPods is like sucking the stem down into
and plus
the charger.
It goes into that stem like receptacle, right? So there's not much room for error. Like if it's here, it's going to be lined up the way that they form things. This is like you pop up. It's in the other room. I'd bring it up. It's the Skull Candy Sesh Ear Evos, and they're like. Honestly, like I was looking at they had like earbuds in that were like $30 or $40 in like Rite Aid, and they looked like that kind of form factor, right? So it's not skull candy. Looking them up real quick so I can get you guys a picture. So it's very squared, right? Yeah, and it just feels like there's too much gap, and it just kind of becomes you can't just like do that, throw in your bag, and everything's going to be cool, kind of thing. There's just too. It seems like they should set in, but there's just too much play in it. This is just mine are not blue, mine are just a black one. So, but I don't know. It also, I mean, I think I got them for sale for like 30, but yeah, they're $30 headphones right now. And they were on sale like a year ago at Best Buy. So maybe I'm due. Maybe it's time. They're gonna have some back to school specials soon for AirPods, right? Maybe we'll get in on that.
Oh yeah.
So, what else we got here? I'm surprised none of us have tried the new Slack feature. Well, we also don't do calls in Slack, do we? That's kind of not a feature that we've explored. I don't even know if it's included in the free version that we use. But they have added video and multi-person screen sharing to huddles. I forgot we have huddles in there. So and they look kind of interesting. I'm kind of curious how that kind of play. It's kind of a floating multi-screen. I don't know. It feels kind of FaceTimey to me, doesn't it?
It does look very FaceTimey.
So, ad hoc voice call that they had last June was the huddles. And of course this is the multi-person screen sharing situation. Here's a little view of your screen sharing. This reminds me so much of like Google Meet though, and it seems unnecessarily sparse to me, right? Like I feel like everything else kind of squares off very very well, and this doesn't seem to be doing that.
To me that view is weird because is it the video is down at the bottom? Like, are those video
in that
panels, and then it's a screen share, and the way it's hovering over top of the Slack window, it just looks awkward.
It does look kind of strange. But also, are you seeing this? It looks like there's two screen sharing pages up too.
Ooh.
Now, see, that would be interesting. So that's I haven't seen anyone from a collaboration perspective, crack the nut of I share my screen and you share your screen, and anybody else in the meeting can see both, and I can see yours next to mine.
And then like select them and go back and forth as if they were kind of windows, right? So,
windows, or put them side, because I mean, think about the screen resolution and size of people's monitors these days. I mean, I'm sitting in front of a 32-inch 4K screen, right? I can get 4 1080p screens in front of me on one monitor.
Yeah.
And I have my laptop monitor. So, and I have another little 15-inch monitor that's touchscreen. But like I could share this screen over here, and I could watch the presentation with both screens side by side, and anyone else could too, right? Like that's, to me, I don't understand why anyone hasn't gone there, and it's interesting because that was one of the first things there's not many companies that do it and do it well, but like that was one of the first things that we were trying to do in actual, what do we call them? It wasn't a breakout room. We had the theory was like 4 people could go into a room, and we wanted 2 people to be able to simultaneously share their screens. So if you had someone with a spreadsheet up and someone with a PowerPoint up, they could be working on the financials, and the other person could be working on like the presentation, and everyone was kind of participating. But
yeah,
it's extremely hard to do if you're not in the same room, and there's not many monitors that will do that kind of two-up collaboration.
This is it's marked as coming soon as of this article on June 22nd. So it'll be interesting to see. And I don't know, did you know that there was a GovSlack version of the service designed for secure government use as well? Probably better than
because there's the Microsoft and I think Google and a number of companies have that same type of thing.
Yeah. There's like, we're going to have this is the lockdown version of this for government use, right? Because I mean, how many government agencies are just kind of like have Office and that's it, an Office that they probably bought 10 years ago. So how secure is that? So interesting. I don't know. Slack continues to treat us very well for what we were doing for organization for our businesses and everything like that too. One thing I've been doing, and Katie, I think you probably saw this that last day when we had like way too much going on a couple weeks ago. We do this with Messenger. I'm trying to be better about when we have a project in like, hey, we're sending these 3 people to go do this show over here. I'm trying to make sure everybody's in a group chat. And if everybody's on iPhone, that's a lot easier, right? Like I'm going in, like we had to have for that day, there was a chat that was going on for a show that I was going to in Grand Rapids. You guys were back there on the track, and you were going to do the live stream. And there was like, the head organizer person. I confirmed, hey, here's the link and everything. What do you want to do with this? And she said, hand it over to these people. And I put a group together with so she doesn't get bothered with this because she's got too much going on. I don't want to go into her group. So I looped in their people with the company, Katie and Missy, and myself. So if there was anything that came up, we can all kind of like, hey, here's what's happening, and everybody's updated across the board, right? And label that. And that's, we do the same with shows coming up and that we're organizing with some groups. That's a big thing for us, is that organization. And, not everybody's on Slack, but everybody's on like Messenger or WhatsApp and actually, honestly, the idea more or less comes from what's happening on WhatsApp with Work With a Fight, because I have, I've told Katie about this. I have groups for all the promotions I've worked with. It's kind of interesting because then I get updates when they do a show I'm not involved in, but it's still like it's very helpful where you just go to it. Hey, okay, I'm working on a Warrior Wrestling show. Hey guys, what's up? Same info, right? Okay, here we go. We're streamed. Here's your confirmation. Bum 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 bum. All the people are there that work on that project consistently, right? And that's a huge communication tool for us, no matter what platform we're on, as long as those best practices are there. So, which I mean, Slack too. We throw people together on projects. Just a separate tripwire mindset. Like I threw Katie into a SAE group just to work, just so we can organize what's going on with those trips, right? Those kinds of things. So it's I don't know, just a little thing. And of course, Chilla, I'm sure your group is doing that on an even bigger level. So over there at Big Mac. So sorry, I've been really concentrating on communication lately, especially since, partially because I was overworked and partially because I got COVID a month ago. I missed meetings, and it pissed me off. And I'm like, okay, what am I doing wrong here? So I'm in reassessment mode, so that we don't lose stuff when things get too busy. And that's part of my headspace right now. So if anybody would like to have a further conversation with that off show, I'd love to. So, anyways, enough of that. Amazon's got the robots, guys.
Yay!
Again. More robots. Comfortably named Proteus. Jeez. I heard him talk about these on some of the other shows after I found this article, and they just look like evil Roombas. I was watching some video about how these guys work. It's they also introduced a new robotic arm, scanning technology for fulfillment centers. This feels like something new. I feel like when I did safety training videos for fabrication, like 12 years ago, I would see places that had the metal arm, the robot arm thing that was dealing with, moving heavy rebars and sheets of one thing or another, right? And of course, this thing isn't loading. For some reason, I have a preference thing that's not loading videos. Thank you for that. But these guys, they're kind of these low-level, low to the floor, like I said, Roomba-looking things, and you see that little circle thing. And unfortunately, I can't pull the video up for some reason. I'll see if I can pull up another one, and I'll adjust my privacy settings. What the hell is happening here? But they go in, and there's these stacked containers, cage containers, presumably of packages for Amazon, right? And they'll go in and go under and line up with them and pick them up and just zoom them off to wherever they need to be. When everybody complains about the working conditions, you just replace them with robots, as we've often been suspicious of. But the one show I was listening to was like, well, actually, the workers at Amazon love them because they're lifting stuff that they don't have to. Okay, I get that. Actually, I got to pull up the video a little bit here, so if you guys want to see these guys in action. And say he goes just under the stack. He lines up and goes a little wheeled stack of boxes there, and he just picks it up and he looks at you and he just zooms it off. There you go. That's your little Proteus robot that they got going on. Amazon did also do their drone stuff, and what was it, Lockwood, California or something like that. And there was a story about people might be shooting at them if they come by for the drone deliveries. Have you heard about this?
I haven't, but I'm surprised that robot, if you looked at it, right, it went under and completely picked up that
the rack.
I don't know,
like
whatever,
a very high rack,
right?
Right.
I'm surprised it doesn't, because you think of the battery power that's going to consume, right? Picking up that entire rack. I'm surprised it doesn't just apply enough pressure or suction cup itself to the bottom of the rack and then wheel it along. Because all of those racks are on wheels.
Yeah, it's lifting it off its wheels. Why isn't it just attaching and just using the wheels, right?
Right, because I would think that it would use that much more electricity or that much more power, use that much less power if it's just kind of dragging it around by the wheels versus, I'd be interested to know how much can it pick up? Because that rack did not look light.
No.
So yeah, so hey, if you guys want some designers or some help, let me know. I'll come hang out at Amazon for a while.
That's right. You could be a consultant, right? As long as you get to hang out at the big spheres up in Seattle, they look very cool. And
those did look very cool. I saw some of your pictures.
And I think Chachi just got to visit them too on his way through to his Alaskan cruise. that he got to check out. So that's awesome. Did you see the pictures from his trip? They look
I did see the pictures, and it looked like
tremendous.
it wasn't just him, right? Like,
Yeah, it was a whole crew. It's some
there was a
rough-
whole crew of
There was
them.
a whole crew that got together to go up there, so it was a big like group outing. So that's awesome. That's really awesome. So, because I don't want to go on a cruise by myself. That's for sure. Or even just like I don't know. It's just I would feel lonely on a giant boat, even if it was just like me and Missy, right? Like you kind of need that gathering. So, anyways. What else we got here? I think I got something about Hey, NASA's going to the moon. They're closer to going back to the moon, guys. They may not have to rely on Elon for that one. But they had a story here because I was just hearing about how they've been having trouble with their test for the Artemis 1, which is it's going to be and Potter's about to correct me, I'm sure, in the chat room, but I believe this is going to be the manned vehicle that's going to be connecting us with the moon. So it's our next kind of space launch for moon travel. And of course, nobody's been there since the 70s, I believe, which still blows my mind. Like literally, like when I realized like nobody has been to the moon in my lifetime. And I think in any of our lifetimes, if I got the times right? Like that seems crazy to me. But like we just gave up on the moon, man. Like nobody's like trying to. I'm sorry, I've been watching For All Mankind, so I know like we make it to the Mars by like 90s. So how different things could be. And there was like AT&T video phones in the 80s when we were completely colonized the moon by then. But anyways. But the story is NASA did finally succeed with this Artemis 1 wet launch test. It has a fully fueled space launch system. Oh God, I can't talk tonight. I'm sorry. Fully fueled the space launch system for the first time. So so there you go. We're that much closer. I mean, it's still like projected for, I don't know, 2024 maybe, something like that. I'm sure it's going to say in this article. I know I've heard it before, but. Last moon mission returned on December 1972, a couple of weeks before Podder was born even. So, geez. That's...
I like that before Ponder was born.
Well, he's the one disclosing that, and...
The way you said it, that was hilarious.
Even Ponder hasn't seen moon travel in his life. And this is a fully operational station. Yes, exactly. So I don't know. It just feels like it feels like such an unfulfilled promise of space travel in our lives. Because I remember growing up just being absolutely fascinated with that. You guys grew up in that area.
Oh yeah, we were going to be doing so many cool things on multiple planets and flying cars by now, and.
Mm-hmm. And just not.
We're not.
Lots of Tang was going to be consumed.
Oh, the Tang. Man, I remember going to Carnegie Science Center and they had the space ice cream and everything.
Well, they still have it. I still pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm like the. Let me know. Have you had like astronaut ice cream lately?
Lately? Oh, geez, this has probably been
Not lately.
10 or 15 years.
Oh, pick it up and let me know, because I think I'm like the only adult that actually likes it. Like it must have
It's
been a kid
interesting,
thing,
isn't it?
And I just
Yeah.
never grew out of it.
It's just like it's creamy chocolate styrofoam. And I love it.
But they have Neapolitan.
They have
You get
Neapolitan
chocolate,
as
vanilla,
well.
strawberry.
You tell me I need to stroll down to the Science Center and hit the gift shop. Hey, why not? It's free to get out of the gift shop, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think you can
I
go
mean-
there. I think you might even be able to go to Grandpa Joe's.
listen,
In Mount Lebanon.
what's Grandpa Joe's? What is that?
I've never been to Grandpa Joe's.
What is Grandpa
Oh, no.
Joe's?
There's one in the Strip
Oh.
District and there's one in Mount Lebanon. It's like all the nostalgic candy from your childhood,
What?
like Razzles. Remember Razzles? Were Razzles big in your area?
I don't know Razzles.
It was like it was the candy, but it was also a gum.
Okay.
Like name some like big candies that you like remember
Like Bazooka
Lemon
Joe's,
Heads
maybe?
So do you remember? Okay, so here,
I,
do you remember
That
New
zoomed
York?
in on you.
dude, yeah, no, it's like when and I love it. It's like when I switch away and I see this dramatic zoom on Joe on Chilla when he's like ready to present something. So
So they also have a whole rack of like nostalgic pop.
hmm
So were you ever a fan of New York seltzer?
no,
Jeez, like
what?
what was the big
What
what was the big candies that they don't make anymore when you from
Jeez, what did I end up getting? I remember. I don't know. I remember the candy cigarettes.
they have those?
Yeah, do they actually look like cigarettes, or are they just like
Mhm.
candy sticks with something like you know? I remember they just even had like a little red color tip to them to make it you know, a thing. So is this on the main strip in Mount Lebanon?
Yes.
Okay, I think I know where this is. I think I've
And
definitely walked past
there's
it.
a bigger version of it down in the strip district.
Okay, then
but
that's that
Mhm.
big candy store down there. Oh wow.
You can get like a 6-pack holder and buy like every flavor of pop ever.
Oh,
Any
jeez.
gross, great.
Are they seriously
anything you're looking
playing?
for.
Are they seriously playing Willy Wonka on this TV in this picture?
probably.
Jeez. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look at all that soda, all that cream. Oh man, look at all the different soda. They got Jones soda in there. Jeez.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
The best thing was
Oh, they do.
There's Necco wafers. I wasn't a fan of
going
Necco
going
wafers, but
down
some people
to the laser tag in Hermitage, and they had Jones soda. Was always a very cool thing. Green apple Jones soda was my favorite.
are. They even get in Clark bars,
Ooh.
but there's a limit. They only they get them in on certain days of the week, and there's a
Mhm.
limit of how many you can buy because they sell out.
You literally
relatively
named
quickly.
two places I can get to on a train.
Do you remember the? I don't even remember who made them. It was some kind of chocolate covered marshmallow thing. It was like the Mario Lemieux sports bun or something like
We
that.
did not get that up in my neck of the woods. That's for sure. I think I was out of
They-
range for that.
And
Jeez.
those there, they have all kinds of.
I'm looking
crazy
at Charleston Chews. I'm looking at Slow Pokes, Sugar Daddies,
Alpales.
Chuckles, Zeros. What's that? Peanut something. Peanut Chews. Like you know what the hell? Rocky Road. Oh jeez. What is this? This is so dangerous. What the hell? And they just randomly have board games and pops as well. Jeez. They have like this looks like Japanese Ramune drink. What?
Yeah, they have all kinds of. They have all
King
kinds of.
Cola. Is that a Golden Girls game?
Orange
What?
stuff. Yep.
Wit and wisdom of the Golden Girls. Golden rules.
Golden Girls Trivia Pursuit.
Oh no! What is all Golden Girls game section up here? What is happening? Oh my
They have a
gosh.
lot of socks too. If you go to the strip district, they have just a wall of just the most
Oh,
ridiculous socks. I mean,
no.
surprisingly, I haven't gotten my.
Jeez, I need a strip district day too. It's been ages since I've done that. Also, so many people down there. So, God, I need to rediscover Pittsburgh. This July, this is what usually happens. I go on the road for like 3 months, and then it's like, okay, remember what Pittsburgh's like in the summer? Let's go do that for a few weeks. And then Missy goes away to California, so it's just me wandering Pittsburgh for a month. It's only going to be 2 weeks this year, guys. By the way, she's only going away for 2 weeks, and then we're meeting up in Chicago for a job. So, anyways, bacon soda. Oh God, oh no, bacon soda with chocolate. Oh no, sweet corn soda. Oh jeez, bloody nose. I'm sorry. I'm stuck on this thing right now. All right, we gotta wrap it up here. We got Chella's at pumpkin time. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay. We should do a recording of us going there for a day.
Absolutely.
I'm in.
That's it. Let's make it happen. Hit up on the Slack. Let's figure out a day. Why is somebody talking about Doink the Clown in WWE 2K? I guess there's a lot of wrestling on that channel over there on Twitch. So sorry, Snowy Flocks. We're not talking about that on this show. Excuse me. Oh boy. Sorry. And a quick reference from before. Katie saw these videos. We filmed a Hot Ones episode of a project from one of my clients today. Have you seen these? You can get the whole Hot Ones set situation, Chilla.
I have not seen this.
Let me see if I can pull up a quick picture of it. So you guys know Hot Ones. It's like that YouTube show where they interview people while eating hot wings, exceptionally hot wings. So we've been doing a news program, a monthly news update since the beginning of the year for SAE, right? And they've been really kind of trying to thread the needle of being like representing, the company and also kind of like talking to college age kids and stuff, right? So they got a set of Hot Ones, and as they did the 10 news stories and segments of this show that we recorded today, they went through 10 bottles of like escalating Hot Ones as they went, and at least for the last two stories, the one guy, Mikey, had to walk outside to cool down. So it was a lot of pain. It was a lot of agony. It was I think that this one kind of narrows it down there. There's some chocolate milk. He's like sitting there chugging water, and I'm like, what are you doing? That's the worst thing you can do right now is chugging water. But thankfully nobody vomited or anything. So that got. It was. I think it was kind of close though. I was a little concerned. But that video will be up. I don't know. I think it's going to take a little longer, but that'll be up in the very near future. So that's and Katie, they were eating Dino Nuggets. They're putting them on Dino Nuggets to eat. So there you go.
That's really funny.
Yes. What a crew! But that was the season finale. They wanted to do something. They wanted to go out big. They wanted to go hot, if you will. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. John Chichilla at Chilla on the Twitters.
John Chichilla on the Facebooks.
And, of course, at Kate Dutters and Kate Marie PGH and across the social medias.
All over the place. Social.
There you go.
Social media.
There you go. Social media blah. Yeah, it's basically it, right? So, and I don't know. Are you doing Reels on your own channel? I know you're doing them for clients.
No, it's so funny. Like, it's how often
I know
that I'm and like I said the same thing to you when we were traveling for work. It's like how many I was so used to taking so many pictures with my camera of what we were doing that I was like, oh, you're not taking any pictures for yourself.
Yeah, kind of forgetting about it, right? And and trying to throw that needle is also like kind of dual purposing things a little bit, right? Because like we're kind of doing social media, sending them materials for social media and realizing, well, why can't it go to our social media? Hey, this is something we did, right? So very interesting, very fun, and a lot more to come. Definitely a lot more to come. So but thank you, everybody. I'm at Sorgatron on Twitter. If you do want to see where I'm traveling lately, I'm strangely, knock on wood, going to be home for 3 weeks. So
very nice.
So maybe I will just be rediscovering Pittsburgh, as I said, here over the next few weeks. I know we have a is that this week? Wait, is 4th of July this week? When we talked about doing those things? I think it is, right?
Yeah.
The furries are coming to town, and I can't make the parade, so I think we're going to wander down there in a few days too, and just see the furry watch a little bit. So. That's good. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.